Alright, welcome to today's tutorial. Today we are going to be looking at objects. Actually, this object is not in our outline, but I've discovered that we can only discuss these concepts here effectively with a good knowledge of objects. So that's why I've decided to include it. So let's get started. As usual, I've made a JavaScript file and linked it to the index.html file, and then we have this object-demo.js file here. So when we run, we view our result in the console. So basically, what are objects? Objects allows us to hold related information and gives us a way of manipulating the data contained in those objects. So we have, let's say we make objects. Let's say I want to define an object. I can say let's which object do I use? Okay, let's, I hope this is the best. Okay, let me use phone. Let phone. So we use open and close curly braces like that. Then we define the objects we want to contain in the phone. Then we have the phone name, then semicolon. So this phone is now going to hold all the data related to this particular phone. So the name is the key there, and then the value. Okay, maybe I'll use my phone. The name is Techno. Okay, let me use Techno, and then I can say the model. Let's say the model is L9 plus, and then we can, what else can we put? Okay, let me basically put this. So we have version, we can say 7, and then we have has card. You can put any format of information, just separate them, and then we can now put owner. I can now put Samuel Chibweze. What else can I store? Okay, let me try and store a function. Okay, I can say update version. So update version is going to be a function. So update version, so I have passed this anonymous function here to it. Update version is going to update the version of this. So this is version 7. Let's say there's a new version and then it's updated, it becomes version 8. So let's say update version is a reference phone. So phone, this is the phone object. What I want to get hold of is the version, the phone.version. So what do I want to do? I want to increment it, so plus plus. So this is basically will be a return statement, return phone.version plus plus. That's increase the phone version by 1. So that is, so in this we have the phone object. It has the name property, which is the value is Techno, the model property, the value is L9 plus, the version property, the value is 7, has card property, the value is false, then owner property, the value is Samuel Chibweze, and then it has update version method. This is a method, and what this method does is to increase the version by 1. So this, I've created my object here. So to make use of this object, if I refresh, you see that nothing happens in the browser. So to make use of this, I can now come over here and then now say console.log. So I can say phone dot what do I want to get? The name. So this is how we reference the properties using the dot notation. You reference the object, which is the phone, dot the name, because name is a property. I use the dot notation to reference it. And then, so this is what I have. Techno is showing there. Let's say I need another property, so I can say phone dot maybe has card. So false, it gives me the value there. Now for example, I want to check the update version, so I can say phone dot update version. But update version is a function, so you are going to take the open and close parenthesis that to execute the function. So when we run this, we are going to have 7. So update version is okay. We are having plus here. Okay, what's happening? Sorry. So I have update version returns 8 there, so that's what is returned there. So you can see that I've used this thing to the function to manipulate the data contained in the object. So these ones are called properties, while this update version is a function, is called a method. So for objects we have methods, and then we have properties. So these are the properties hold the data, the information related to the object, in this case phone, while the method contains functions that we can execute on the phone objects. So this is one way that we can get objects. This same thing I've done here can also be done in another format. For example, I can choose to say phone. Okay, let phone. Normally when we are creating objects, we use capital, we start with capital letter. It's just a convention, it's not a requirement, it's a convention. So I can say use new object. So with this I can now say phone dot name. I will start assigning properties to them. Is techno. phone dot version is 7. Okay, sorry, these are full statements. No question mark. How am I making all this kind of? So we have phone dot what other property has card. False. So I think I can as well write the function phone dot update version is a function, and I'll copy everything here, and then because they are basically the same thing, and comment this, then take out the double function. So this is what I have, and when I save this and run, we all have the same result. So this is also another way of creating objects, but this may not really be an efficient way of creating objects. There's another way of creating objects using the object constructor, and this is, I think, the one you will see most often. You remember when we did something about date? We did date like this. Is we used the new keyword, new date, and then we created the date object like this. So what this is doing is that we are using the constructor, the date object constructor, to create another template of this date object, so, and pass it down to this date. So that's to do that with the examples we've given, we can use a function. Let's call the name of this function phone. So this function has phone. It's a normal function. Notice that is an object, and I'm starting with capital letter. Is a convention to mark objects. So we have phone. So I can pass all the information I will need. Has card. I will pass it down there. And then what else? I will use version just to save time. I will not be including all the properties. So to reference it, I will now say this dot name. Now this is a JavaScript keyword. This is a JavaScript keyword, and is referring to this object. So it's just like saying phone dot. It's just like saying phone dot. So phone dot. So referring to this. So it's using this this to refer to the object here. So this dot name is name. So this is this name that I've passed there. And then we have this dot has card is has card, and then we have this dot version is version. Notice that I'm now using assignments. It is different from here, where I'm using the colon symbol, and I'm separating each of them with comma. In this case, it's like I'm writing a normal function, but this keyword points to this phone object. So if I want to write the same function I've written before, I can as well repeat it here. But in this case, you see that the phone, instead of putting the phone, I will put this keyword there. So this keyword there is now going to be this keyword there is now going to be referring to the phone. So with this that I've written now, to create an instance of this object, all I have to do is to call maybe, and I'll say let's. Now remember that as I've created this object now, nothing appears. What's happening? Let is not defined. Line 30. Oh, sorry. So nothing is appearing in the console. So we have I need to make an object, an instance of this object I've created. So I can say let phone. Notice that this is starting with capital letter. It's now going to be new phone, which is the object that I've created. Now I'm now going to pass the parameters. The first one I have is techno, and then false, and then the other one is version 7. So with this I've created a new object. So to find out what is console.log, so let's So we have this phone. What is happening is, so we console.log. So we have our phone object. You see that this phone has taken up all the properties of this. So although I defined update version in this constructor, but here I don't have to define it. It's already taking it up. So we have this phone. So you see the properties: has card is false, name is techno, and the update version function is also there. So to get access to the name, I need to say phone.name. So it returns the name. To have access to the every other thing I've also said here can then be applied in this case. So phone dot is not, sorry, notice that I'm referring to the, remember JavaScript is case sensitive, so this is referring to the other one. So I have all the properties. Why is it returning not a number? False. Update version. Phone dot update version is not a number. Okay, let me try returning phone dot version. Oh, sorry. This function is supposed to be this, return this dot version, because the phone has been replaced. So we have 8 there. All right, so this is it about objects. There's so much that we can do. Another thing I would just like to quickly point out is, you see that to access properties I'm using the dot. We can as well use the square brackets like indexes, the way we do it. So I can as well do something like this to get me the name property. Sorry, this is on there. So we have the name sorry, this is where I intend to do that. So where did we access this? Oh, I've cleaned them up. Okay, so I just want to show something. Comment that one and then open up this console.log. We can also use the, so I have phone. Instead of using the dots, I can as well say dot name, and it will produce the same effects as the, sorry, the name key, and it will produce the same effect. So that is that about objects. So object allows us to encapsulate a group of related data in one and then do some manipulations on it. There are so many things that we can make object out of. For example, a book, where am I even typing? A book can have author, book title, the publisher, the date of it was published, the number of pages, like that. And then also post. A post can have a title, post title, the publisher of the post, the date, the number of comments. For example, an object on post, we can say let's post be the title, the title of the post, you specify the author, you specify that, the the comment can be an array, you specify that, and then the likes, number of likes it has, it can be a number, you can say 9, and then published, whether it's published, it can be maybe false. So this can be another way we can create object. So we can create object on most of the thing, just like objects in real world. So this is a way that we can model real world objects. So thank you so much for watching. That's it for today. I really hope that you make something out of it, and if you have any question, just feel free to drop on the platform, and don't forget to like and subscribe so that when we post other videos you will be notified. Thank you so much for watching.